Hey, are you trying to save but you got nothing left at the end of the month? Today, I'm going to look at how you can earn at least an extra $1,000 a month. Stay tuned. Frank Thomas here from Wealth Generation Strategies, and today I'm going to be talking about saving. Yes, it all comes down to saving because you need to start taking some of your time and turning it into that precious cash that you need to invest and to save and to create wealth for yourself. The question to answer today is, how do I save if I don't have enough money right now? You've done all the checks, all the stops, you've double checked your budget, you have a budget, because that's important first off, but you're still struggling. You've cut everything you can, but you still have no room to save. Today, I'm going to be looking at how you can earn an extra $1,000 a month. I know that your time is precious. Unfortunately though, the only resource that you really have that is actually worthwhile right now is your time. So you have to find a way to utilize it. I'm going to be talking about different strategies here, basically how to generate at least an extra $1,000 a month. With $1,000 a month, you can invest that and potentially invest $12,000 a year. And in the long run, that can make a huge difference to your financial future. So let's get into this here. The first question is, if this is such a struggle, why bother? Well, I'm going to be blunt with you. If you don't save for yourself, nobody else is going to. It sounds very crass to say that, but that is the truth to the matter. You have to save for yourself because you can't trust the government one day. You can't trust relatives. It's not that nobody's trustworthy, but you have to watch out for you. You are got to be responsible for your funding in the future. Just as you're responsible as an adult today. You've got to pay your bills. Nobody else is going to pay them. So one day you are going to have bills and you have to pay those bills as well. And this is why you need to build this financial base for yourself. What does that look like? What I'm going to do is I'm going to display a few calculations here and the net results. And I'm going to be looking at saving $1,000 a month for a 5-year period, a 10-year period, a 15-year period, and a 20-year period. And I'm going to have a compound interest rate of about 10%, because I believe you can get 10% in the markets nowadays, or whatever you decide to invest into. So let's just take a look here. Okay, so in this first calculation, we're looking at the 5-year period. As you can see, after 5 years, investing $1,000 a month, and that is every month for the next 5 years, having that compound interest rate, our net gain is going to be just over $78,000, which is not too shabby. $60,000 of course is what we've saved, and the other 18 is interest that we've gained in that 5-year period. But we're not done yet. Let's look at the 10-year period. In the 10-year period, things start to get a little more exciting for two reasons. First of all, we've had an extra 5 years and an extra $60,000 to save. Second, we've had more time for our initial savings to compound at our given interest rate, 10 years. What do we end up with? Just over $200,000. Our contributions were, like I said, $120,000, and the other $86,000 and change is interest, which is brilliant. So if you'd never saved that money, then you would not have had that $86,000 for free, literally for free. So think about that. Let's look at the 15-year period. Okay, at the 15-year period, things kind of turn upside down on us, which is really, really good for us. This is the one time you want stuff to turn upside down. And what I mean by is you've had enough time for this money to compound that you've actually earned more in interest than you put into it, which is pretty exciting. Our total contributions to date would have been $180,000, but we've gained over $237,000 in interest, giving us a grand total of close to $418,000. If you are doing this already and it's today, that's enough to have a depleting fund account, and it would keep you in retirement for at least 30 years. But let's go one more step. Let's look at the 20-year window. Wow, at 20 years, it actually is starting to get nuts, and you start seeing that magical power called compound interest. In the 20-year window, we've been able to put away $240,000 at $1,000 a month for the last 20 years. Our interest we've gained in that 20 years is just over $525,000, more than double than what we've put into this account, giving us a grand total of almost $766,000 $100,000. That would allow you to create a non-depleting fund account, living modestly, of course. It's going to give you an income of about $76,000 a year, which is not too shabby. If part of it's in funds like TFSAs, which are not considered income, so not taxed, that money's worth a lot. But if it's in your RRSPs, if you did a split between the two of them, you would be living like you were earning close to $100,000 a year. And that's no lie. That's nothing to sneeze at. So you can see the power of this. Now, I don't want to get all wrapped up into this, but I did want you to see these numbers and why this is so important. So let's look at how we can earn an extra $1,000 a month. The first one is building a service-based business. You can build any kind of service-based business, and the whole idea here is you're taking your expertise and experience and you're trading a little bit of your time for money. If you're only able to earn $20 an hour in a service-based business, you would have to work 50 hours that month to get that funds. So that's not great. That you're looking at 2.25 hours of work every single day between Monday to Friday. Like, I estimate you have about 22 working days in a month. So it's not really ideal. And also too, in a service-based business, you should be able to earn more per hour. The second I've looked at here is, let's say you're earning $50 per hour. I believe even if you're doing a service-based business like cleaning or power washing or something like that, you can earn between that 20 and 50 for sure. At $50 an hour, the amount of hours you have to work to get that extra $1,000 is only 20 hours a month. So it's less than an hour a day, which is brilliant. Now we're getting into the zone where this can actually make sense for you. Now let's say you were a little more specialized and you're able to enter into a business where you can earn $100 per hour. Now you might think to yourself, how in daylights am I going to do that? I'll be bluntly honest with you. The highest I've ever earned per hour is almost $3,000 in an hour. Now it didn't last long, and it wasn't a truly service-based business. It was kind of service, kind of product, so it was a bit of a hybrid, but it was very possible. Whereas earning $100 an hour, I do that full-time right now. Turning around and offering this as a service in a service-based business, I should be able to easily exceed $100 an hour. And if I can do it, you can do it. And that's my point here. And at $100 an hour, you're working literally 10 hours a month, literally a couple Saturdays if it comes down to that, and boom, you've created $1,000 per month. Now, if that's a little hard for you to reach for right now, I just want you to think about it, okay? It all comes down to education, experience, and specialization. That's what it all comes down to. If you find that you have an area where you can work in something, there was one time when people found out I used to work on, there was old Cisco networking devices that nobody knew how to program anymore, but I was working in a company that was using them, so I knew how to program them. So what happened was I had people hiring me on in today's money at about $700 per hour to come in for a couple hours. And I would charge like a 3-hour flat. I'd come in for 3 hours, reprogram their devices, get them running properly, and they give me a check. There you go. Have a nice day. And I didn't do a lot of that because it was very specialized. I still did some of that, and it still made a difference at that time. The second here, and it's my favorite method, is to build a product-based business. A product-based business is you sacrifice some time and you're not getting paid up front, but you build a product. My favorite products are information or instructional based products, videos, manuals, books, courses, and software. I lump software in there too because software is really good. And also too, consider multi-level marketing. I know it's an ugly word in today's day and age, but there's some really good MLM businesses out there. And this one is a bit of a hybrid of service slash product. The cool thing about an MLM is if you find that you can get into a good one that has good products, has a good remuneration package, you do a lot of work up front, and that's why it gets such a bad name. You got to do a lot of work up front. The truth of the matter is if you do offer something that's good and it's worthwhile, for very little money you can get in and start earning a monthly residue. And I've seen people earn $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 more a month and more based upon good MLM models. So that's worthwhile too. But I really have done very well personally in the product side of things by creating courses, which I sell over and over again, writing books, which I can sell over and over again. I'm telling you, these things are possible. They really are possible. Before we get to our bonus here, subscribing to this video really helps this channel out, helps me out, helps this channel out. If you find that you're getting good value, subscribe. That way I know that you want more of these videos that I'm producing for you. And I want to hear your comments. I want to hear your stories. Those stories are so precious to me. Let's get into our bonus. For all of this to work and to be able to earn this $1,000 a month or more, you have to have tangible goals, because you are going to sacrifice time, energy, fun time to make this happen up front. You always put more time up front than you do further down the road. So have a tangible goal. Say, you know something, I'm willing to work really hard because in 20 years, I'm gonna save $765,000. Now, 20 years might seem a little out there, but say at the end of the year, I'm gonna save $12,000. I'm gonna put $12,000 away, and that's gonna turn around and compound every year and earn me $1,200 in interest at 10% every year. And in 10 years, it's gonna double. It's gonna double in value. You need a tangible goal. And it's good to have shorter term goals. I think even just trying to become that 10,000-aire, so to speak, and save that $12,000 is a great first goal. You'll find that the world will conspire to help you out, especially when you're working towards positive goals in life. It'll conspire, help you out, and you'll not save $12,000. You might save 20 or 30 or 50 or $100,000 in a year. Yeah, it's possible. I've done it, so I know it's possible. So be sure to keep your eyes open. No, there's another video showing up right now. It's talking about choosing your battles. It's all about making sure you keep your priorities in alignment. And how do you do that? Great video to watch. If you haven't watched it yet, I recommend watching it because it'll help you to earn this $1,000 a month. I'll see you over there. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.